Chanel, Chanel, Coco Mademoiselle, Chanel, Chanel, Coco Mademoiselle, and I have to get you a wedding ring. Ta 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 ta. Coco Mademoiselle, Coco Mademoiselle, Chanel, Chanel, I have to get you a wedding ring. Ta 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 ta. And also have to do the pedicure. Ta 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 ta. And it is problematic. Yes, it causes drama. Yes, yes, pedicure drama. Yes. Ta 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 ta. Well, this is. I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. There is a chicken cooking downstairs in the oven. Mama says no to it. A papa dog says yes to chicken. Anytime, anytime. Yes to chicken, yes to chicken. I like chicken, says the papa dog. Oh God, the dog. Oh God, the dog. Oh God. I like chicken. Yes, the word chicken is a major trigger. Ta 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 ta. Mama is drinking watermelon and apple and soy milk. And Papa Dog, he wants chicken, but he wouldn't mind drinking some of that too. No, no, no. I always give him some in the end when I am finished with it. I don't want this falling. No. This is nice, isn't it? Oh, it's a nice. This is perfect with the heart in there. Mm. It's delicious. Yes, Papa Dog, he wants some of this. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Yes, I cannot withhold this from him. And he's gonna add some saliva into it. Yes, a lot of saliva goes into it. This is heaven. This is watermelon mess heaven. Is this? It's a big mess. Yes, this is messy. This is very messy. Now I look at that terrible mess on the couch. How are we gonna fix this now? Yes, I have to use this here. I got to blot this off before it all flows on that stepping stool. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is a big mess of watermelon and apple mousse and soy milk. But that's healthy and that's good. And the dogs like it too. And I recommend to not give them chicken. Papa Dog, I can't do this right now. He wants more. He wants more. Papa Dog wants more. And when he wants something, he becomes very adamant. and he pushes with his head. He pushes very hard with his head. He can push my arm up with his whole big neck. He has a real big neck. There's a lot of muscles in that big neck, like a hippopotamus. Yes, hippopotamus strength and muscles. Yes, and a lot of will and wish power is there. Papa Dog, what am I gonna do now with this here? That was not a good idea to bring this up here, making a video and having that watermelon, because basset hounds like watermelon. Yes, they eat the whole watermelon. You have to first, of course, take the peeling off, and then they eat the whole watermelon on eggs, like in one session, in one eating session. Eat the whole watermelon. Yes, it tastes good because it's nice and sweet. Yes, and it's good for you also. It's very good for you. They know that here. They know watermelon is good. Yes, it is so healthy. It flushes out all of your toxins out of your brains. You know, all of the particles from the pollution that is in the air gets all flushed out of the system. It's wonderful. So yeah, I'm very happy with Coco Mademoiselle. It's a wonderful perfume. I had to get it from Quality Fragrance Oils, and it is an imitation, but it is very good. And it doesn't have toxins in it. It doesn't have any alcohol in it. It doesn't have any terrible perfume toxins in it. It doesn't have any. It does. They told me it's not tested on animals. That the ingredients are not tested on animals. They're tested on people instead. They're tested on the chemist's own skin. That's what I would do myself as well. And it doesn't have any colors. It doesn't have preservatives or anything. It has some mineral oil that lasts forever and that's heat resistant. And it's awesome. Yeah, and it smells heavenly. Absolutely heavenly. It has the Chanel vibe. It has the Chanel signature. And it is a modernized version. And it's a sister of Coco Chanel. No! I caught it in the nick of time. No. I caught it in the nick of time. Or it would have ended up on that rug. Yes, that's what would have happened. It would have ended up on the rug. Yes, that's what would have happened. Papa dog, my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now it's gonna get messy. Oh, Papa dog likes this. Oh my goodness, he likes this. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is tutti frutti. This is Coco Mademoiselle good. Is that? Yes. It's a little bit there. It's dripping already on my pants. Oh, Papa dog. I love it, God. I love the orange God. Nice, nice, nice. My orange king. Yes. My infinitely powerful Crystal Cola healer is that. That is what the Papa dog is. And he eats good stuff. He's addicted to chicken, but he eats good stuff too. Like watermelon, yes. And soy milk. And apple sauce. Very good stuff. It's very good. It's very delicious. Yes. Yum, 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 yum. So now this is good enough, isn't it? It's good enough now. Are we happy now? Are we full now? Yes. Is it full? You full? Okay. That was a lot of watermelon. Yes. And apple sauce and soy milk. No? The stomach is full now. Yes. Yes, now we can rest now. Yes. Oh, there you go, Papa dog. There you go. There you go, my love. Okay, so it is messy. It is so good with dog saliva in it, and I don't mind. Dog saliva is clean. It's a lot cleaner than human saliva. I love this perfume. It's so incredibly good. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about in this video, and I always want to share some upbeat things with you, like the papa dog and the way we eat. And too bad Paul cooks chicken. I have said so many times not to do it, not to buy that stuff anymore, but then I guess he keeps buying it anyway, and then he keeps putting it under my food, in my food, and I don't want it. I give the chicken to the papa dog because I really don't want to eat meat anymore. Really, 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 really. I don't want any animal flesh from any, from, not from birds, not from fish either, from any, particularly not from mammals of any size. So I don't want animals on my plate. Okay, so I like animals alive. I saw a snake earlier, and the snake looked just like a wobble monster snake that I had as a child. I got a lot of those. They were selling those in booths made in China. They had these wobble monster booths, outdoor booths, and I was always excited when I saw that. Oh, they got wobble monsters. I gotta get some. And then my dad or my mother, they would buy me wobble monster, and I'd be overjoyed. And the snake looked just like that wobble snake. I mean, it actually looked exactly like it. It looked like it was made out of a wobble rubber. But I didn't touch the snake. The snake's scared. So I just waved my arm a little bit over just to see what if the snake reacts to kind of visual stimuli. And the shadow didn't even reach the snake, so the snake saw my hand go up like this. And the eyes are kind of sticking out a little bit, like a fish, sort of, and then also with a round vision all the way around, because they have a lot of predators after them, also from the sky, sky predators. So the snake immediately slithered into the blueberry brush, and I was watching him in there, smoothly going through this very condensed jungle in there, and it's very nice, wonderful to see live animals and live crocodiles and live snakes and live fish and live birds, and alive. I want to see them alive and happy. Okay, I don't want to see snake skin on someone's purse or croc skin on someone's purse. I don't want to see this. Say no to Birkin. Say no to Hermes. Say no to cruelty. Okay, so that is my message for the world. And go whole food vegan, and eat a lot. Eat baby, eat baby. Okay, so very important. And so my husband always tells me the news. It usually is negative, but then once in a while there's something good. So there's some good news, and the good news is that Elon Musk's satellite, I think 60 of them, satellites, they all made it into orbit safely, and they all function, and he wasn't even expecting that. Every one of them is working, and they are actually AIs. They are artificial intelligence robots that are self-propelling, and so they're sky robots, and they can actually evade a collision. They can, if they see something coming at them, whatever it is, another satellite from someone else, from Jeff Bezos or something, they can fly out of the way. They can escape that other flying object, identified or unidentified, whatever source it comes from. And whether it comes from a competition or it comes from someone else, whether it does the same job or something else. And also Elon Musk has all of his work that he is worked on, has all of this public, because he wants people to recreate this. He does not hide his technology from anyone. He doesn't create a patent. He doesn't close that up to the public. He doesn't say this is my invention or something, which other people always do. He would never do this. When he creates something, he shares this with the world. He wants people to create this. He wants to create a situation where everyone does this, jumps on that bandwagon, and where there is a competition, he welcomes this because he wants to get that kick started. He wants to get that going, that technology, whether that cuts into his own business or not. That's not what he's concerned about. He gets all this hate from people, and there's so much hate propaganda out there against him from the oil industry, of course, because they see him as the competition. That's all they can see. They can't see that he wants to make the world better. He wants to save the species on this planet, and he wants to explore space, and he wants to venture out onto other planets to save us, to save beings, to plant trees on Mars and terraform Mars. And we're very close to this now. We're very close to making this happen. I'm saying, not me. I could never do something like this. Elon Musk makes it happen, okay? And then he gets people on board and they will help him, and so they're gonna make it happen, okay? I already saw a documentary film on YouTube, an animation documentary film on exactly how to terraform Mars, and that it takes about 100 years until there are trees growing. Maybe relatively small, short trees, like maybe in 100 years there may be some 4-footer trees or 3-footer trees. But it's great, because then that will enormously create oxygen, it will create weather, it will create condensation, it will create rainfall, it will create rivers and creeks and springs and even oceans. It will recreate this planet Earth. But Mars is a smaller planet. So I think it is about, I don't know, just 75% of what Earth is. So it's about 25% smaller than Earth, and we will have also, according to that, 25% less gravity and less weight. So if we bring the scale with us, we will be 25% lighter, something like this. I don't know. And that'll be pretty easy going for me, okay? And for anyone who's heavy, like the Papa Dog, so we will be dancing on Mars. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna go. We're not rich enough to go. So he's first of all gonna take only people who are, of course, who are really serious about this, who are helping financially with this. Of course, he has to have people help financially with this. He can't have just someone who just leeches onto this. He needs to have people that are in full support on all levels. He has to have people that go there that are absolutely star engineers and who make it happen, and I'm excited about this. I think this is fantastic. And that's been his lifelong dream, to move to Mars and live there for the rest of his life. And the woman who works with him, his main right hand. She is also an engineer, a real star engineer, and she wants to go with them, and she wants to also explore other galaxies. And she talked about this, and she said that they do this because life on Earth is gonna struggle, in the future, in the near future. It's really gonna struggle because of pollution, because of overpopulation, and global warming. So, but she said that's not the only reason why they go to Mars. They also want to explore. They want to, as scientists, they're just interested and fascinated to proliferate their knowledge and their exploration and their passion into space. And I fully am on board metaphorically with that. I wish I could be on board literally. So, but it's not a big deal, okay? It's not about my ego. This is just I would like to do this as the play child and the artist and the explorer nature that's in me and that's in everyone. So my ego is not even that interested in this. So my ego is dabbling with other things, so with other kind of BS that I'm still working on. And I'm working on it every single day. And so, what else did I want to talk about? First of all, I want to just make this very clear that Elon Musk is a Buddha level soul, and there are very few of those. There's a bird in the sky. Oh my God, looks like a hawk. So okay, and Elon Musk is trying to help. And so what else did I want to say? Yeah, and then I saw a lady who left the Jehovah's Witness cult, and she made several videos about this, and she explained that very, very, very wonderfully and smoothly, and made it absolutely fascinating to listen to. I don't often listen to people like to longer videos because many of them, they don't talk mindfully. They don't talk in a focused way. Most people have very severe ADHD when they report on something, myself included. I try not to do the and so, and I try not to do F words or anything. I try. I'm not always succeeding. Sometimes I'm angry too. And but some people, they use these words all the time, and they use all kinds of bad language or different types, and they think it's sort of sexy, like a tattoo or something. So I don't like to listen to most people's way of talking and speaking. This lady is flawless in the way she reports on leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses. A very intelligent woman, very healthy in the brain and body, and very, very focused and very mindful in the way she reports it, and very sensitive and very, very thoughtful and very much thinking about the consequences of words. It's just a natural thing for her. She came to this world with this equipped already. It's an much older soul, of course, an angel soul, very advanced. Her name is Taylor, and she and her husband, they met at the Jehovah's Witness cult, and they got married while they were still Jehovah's Witnesses. And then, because they were truth speaker, the entire community stood against them. and gave them a real hard time until both of them finally said, enough is enough, we are leaving. And they were not even excommunicated. They left on their own. So they left because they saw the double standard, the lies, the denial, and the falseness and the coldness in all of this. And they saw that people were not even living up to this idea of making the world into a paradise. I have met a Jehovah's Witness lady. I talked about her several times. I like her very much. Her name is Lisa. She was my massage therapist. And the Jehovah's Witnesses, when they are dealing with a customer or when they're dealing with the worldly people, as they call them, in a professional setting, then they're allowed to have a normal conversation with them beyond the preaching of the Kingdom Hall and the Jehovah's Witness Bible and all of this. And she never preached religion to me ever. She also saw that it would just alienate me. It would, she would feel embarrassed actually about it. She's very smart and very intuitive, but she did tell me why she became a Jehovah's Witness, because she felt like she needed something to give her some kind of hold. She wanted to feel held, mentally. But it's not a good idea. You're not being held in a religion. You are held captive. That's what happens, And people become a prisoner of religion. And so did she. Her father is an atheist, and then she goes out there and attaches herself to some ridiculous religion or cult. And I've seen that several times now with people. I love her very much. I'm not looking down on her. I'm not ridiculing anyone. I'm not slandering anyone or laughing about anyone. Would never do this, okay? But I'm saying it the way it is. It is ridiculous, but without putting anyone down. The whole situation. If we look at it from a wider angle, then we can all see it. And I wished so much that she would quit them, because I wanted to be her friend. And she took me to, one time I was crying, I had a nervous breakdown, and she said, come, I'll take you to the Kingdom Hall. And I needed to get away from my husband just for a day, and just to get away from him and be around her. I thought, why not? And I'll just go. So I went with her to the Kingdom Hall, and there was a guy preaching, and there were a bunch of people that were introduced, and he was talking about how the Jehovah's Witnesses started and that they were against war, and that's all wonderful, right? But then it snowballs into this cult, it snowballs into this hierarchy again, and it wouldn't matter how positive a thing is and how positive the well-meaning is in the very beginning. It always escalates later on into a hierarchy and into corruption and into conspiracy and into people being afraid to speak out against someone abusing them just because they happen to be some kind of person that has an influence or that has some leverage in the hierarchy system. So that happens in every single religion and cult. And that's why I say, people, stay out of cults and religion. Stay out of it. it's not going to give you a hold. It's not going to give you a family. Okay. It separates you from other people. It causes segregation. It causes dualism. That is what we want to avoid in the world. So that is my message always in every video I make. And so they couldn't convert me. I would start talking about all kinds of things to them. It's always, every time I meet a Jehovah's Witness person, I like them. They're very friendly. I have always invited them for a cup of tea. And I invited Mormons in too. Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses, they're always very friendly and mild. And in Germany and in the United States. But then, they would start preaching, and then I will start talking about primotherapy, and I can see in their faces, their faces are getting actually like a child, like they start dreaming. There's the child inside that says, "Oh, I want that too. I want that freedom." But the ego, the control body puts a stop to that, and lays itself over, it shadows over the inner child and says, "No, we can't do this, no, we have to adhere to Jehovah. This is just an idea, Jehovah, it comes from their egos. It is a human invention, and it is just it's a doctrine. It is a fabrication that creates fear. It doesn't create freedom and love. A paradise, as they wish for the world to happen, cannot happen through a cult or a segregation. It happens through all of us working together. Whoever it is, whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever thought school you come from the Catholic religion, from the Christian religion, from Jesus or Mary or Muhammad or Lakshmi, whatever cult and religion you come from, or if you come from atheism or agnosticism or the worship of designer houses. So some people do that, That's a little better than religion. That's a little bit more freedom. But still not freedom, okay? Because then their captivity is the setting of the peer groups, and the fear of their own ego makes them a prisoner of their own mind, because then they're afraid that they could be looked down on, and they have to constantly feed this self-image and keep that going, the prestige and all of this. And that's what my family is all about overseas, but that's what I criticize very harshly. So they are agnostics, but the human mind always falls into something. If it escapes the religions, then it will dwindle into something else. It always dwindles into something, whether it's this or that, or this prestige or that prestige, or the academic prestige, the academic pride. It's always about pride. It's always about self-image. Religion is massive self-image. That's all it is. It's not like there's nothing spiritual, and I don't even like the word spiritual. I really shy away from that word. That word is that word is sold out. has sold itself out to the gambling industry. I don't know. So, but so it, the mind, the ego always falls into some kind of trap. Yeah. And so this lady Taylor, she's so advanced. She sees the problems with those people in her congregation. She sees all of this. She sees the lies, and she was always fair with them, and more than fair. She was really trying very hard to make things work out with people, and make peace within the group and all of this. But if these other people are super neurotic and acting out on others, and acting out, and then you know going against someone who says the truth, which happens, I see it everywhere. I see it in chat rooms too. They all gang up on someone who says the truth. They gang up on someone who is kind, who wants to make the world a better place. Kindness is truth. Activists, animal rights activists, are love and truth. That's what most people don't want to hear, because it goes against their ego. It is uncomfortable. It makes them have to straighten out their lives, which they don't want to do. So they hate the activists, because the activists, just by their existence and by what they do, the kindness and all of this, makes the other people have to straighten out, because the other people, they will see that this is definitely not congruent with how they are living their lives. So, and then they will go against us and say, you think you're better than everyone else. So they'll go into resistance towards kindness and love, because they think they'll interpret into something negative, so that they don't have to change, right? They don't want to change, so they will make the activist, the kind person, into the person who is, they'll interpret a selfish motive into it, because that's the only way they can figure out why this other person would be spending their time in making the world a better place. It must be for some kind of selfish motive. That's what goes on in their brains. They'll try to make sense into it, only from their own lens, from their own interpretation, from their own way of looking at life, from their own perspective of taking. So they'll interpret that into other people as well. They project. And the truth is that a kind-hearted person does a kind-hearted thing because they care. They have compassion. And it is that what I try to energetically bring across to the world. And I don't know how to do it, so I tried in many different variations. But I will keep on trying until the day I die, because it is so infinitely important to do that. It is infinite. So I think that girl is amazing, and her husband, they are both angel souls. They are amazing people. I was absolutely delighted to see this. So once in a while I come across videos of some amazing people. And that happened many times, that a Jehovah's Witness will break off. I've seen one guy that made videos and a girl, but the guy and that other girl, that was a long time ago, several years ago, the guy wanted to make a movie, but then he collected a bunch of money. Then he never made the movie. But he took people's donation money, and so he broke off from the Jehovah's Witness just so that he could whore around and take drugs and whatever. So not for the right reasons. And then a woman, after that, I saw a woman about who broke free. She liked the atheist community, and I'm not going to mention names. And but she took that same energy with her, that, you know, very selfish and all of this. And so these two people did not break off from the Jehovah's Witnesses for the right reasons. They just wanted to. They saw other people have fun with some other selfish things, and that's what they wanted. But the girl Tyler and her husband, or Taylor and her husband, they broke off for the right reasons. They were always kind-hearted people, and at some point they saw that this was absolutely just not working out energetically and on any level. How can you make something work if the other people around you are not kind and not making it work? Then at some point there comes the point where when you're caring, you have to move on. You have to go your own ways. And that's what they did, and they are making the world a better place. Taylor and her husband are making the world a better place. Unlike these other people that left before them for the wrong reasons. So, yeah, but once in a while someone will leave for the right reasons, and that's great. And that's because they've always been different to the others. And wherever we are, when we're kind-hearted, we are surrounded with other people and the majority of people are not that advanced soul-wise and energetically. And they're very easily gonna fall into addictions and this and that and selfishness. And they do all kinds of things for selfish reasons. And when we are kind-hearted and caring, that will collide with them. Whatever setting we're in, whether it's religion or whether it is an organization that wants to make things better, or whether, I've seen this, I've been part of organizations, and I saw then with disappointment that the majority of people in that organization were not doing this for the right reasons. And that was always very heartbreaking and disappointing. And then they see my husband and me doing it for the right reasons, and they feel threatened in their position of leverage, because then they think, oh, what if the other people would trust us more to become the whatever, the people that make the ultimate decisions or whatever. So, and most people seem to be like in this ambitious mindset of, oh, I just want to get into this higher position, so then I have leverage, or then I can whatever. Then they think they can also take some of the grant money, and it's always like something like this, something selfish. And we've seen this now in whale rescue groups, we've seen it in environmental stewardship groups. We've seen it in, I don't even, I can't even tell you how bad that must be in other things, like in humanitarian kind of groups where like there's like almost everyone doing it just for the wrong reasons. And so that's also one major reason why I'm not a humanitarian, because I know the humanitarian groups that are supposed to help homeless people or children in third world countries. They almost always, I mean, it's very rarely that someone does it for the right reasons. Some people do it out of their religious reasons. Most people do it for religious reasons because they're supposed to help the fellow human, but only the human DNA. So it's incredibly awful. And then they also, because the whole thing is just so false and fake already, then it's not that's not much of a fall to go then to the next level and just do it out of greed. So that will go hand in hand with the greed a lot of times. So most humanitarian groups are based on greed and religion, and that's what it is. And they call them philanthropists. So I'm not a philanthropist, sorry. I'm an animal rights advocate. I'm an animal rights activist. I'm an environmentalist. I'm a panpsychist. I'm a cosmist. I want to see the world become a paradise. But I really do. So I really do. And I will give my all for that. I give my all for this. So yeah, it makes me feel really good when I see someone once in a while who is like me, caring and more advanced and more mature and really wanting to put all of their effort into making the world better and into making fantastic YouTube videos that are very serious and very, very straightforward and very focused. I think that is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I support those kind of people. So that's very great. And she also talked about, she talked about her parents and how her parents abused her. Her mother was an enabler and a gaslighter, and her father is just simply a psychopath. And she got then just a handful of people together to help her, and she put him in prison for 40 years. And I hope that's what's going to happen. I hope he stays in prison for the rest of his life, because what he has done to his daughters is absolutely horrific. And the Jehovah's Witnesses, they backed him up. They liked him because he was charismatic. He was luring people into the cult. And that's all they were interested in. They weren't on the side of Taylor and her sister. And they just wanted to. And they are all cowards, these people, Most of them are cowards, some of them are callous, and some of them are psychopaths. And for her and her husband to stand so strong against this is absolutely marvelous for me to see. It's wonderful. It's justice served. Fantastic. If we want to see justice, all of us, we have to do something for it. We can't be just leaning back and let other people take on the steering wheel. We have to do something. It's also something Michael Moore said. If we want to make that doesn't